Let's begin by clarifying something that apparently needs clarification. Not every unexpected thing is an emergency. Not every blinking indicator is a crisis. And not every raised voice is leadership. This story is about a space emergency that was not an emergency. It was panic with a headset. Real emergencies are terrifying. They are loud. They escalate. They break things. This was not that. This was a warning flag, not an alarm, not a failure, just a tiny digital eyebrow raise that said, "That is slightly outside what we expected." And that was all it took. Someone noticed the flag and said, "That's odd." That sentence is the emotional equivalent of pulling a fire alarm in mission control. Suddenly, breathing slowed, voices lowered, screens multiplied. People gathered like something dramatic was about to happen. Nothing was happening. The flag was not critical. It was not persistent. It flickered once and went away. But logic left the room anyway. Because panic feels productive. Someone said, "What if this is the start of something?" Someone else replied, "We should treat this as an emergency." Another added, "Better safe than sorry." Better safe than sorry is the official slogan of overreaction. Emergency procedures were opened. The thick ones, the dramatic ones, the ones written for disasters, not blinking indicators. Ironically, people began skipping rules. Because panic convinces people that rules are optional. Commands were delayed. Actions postponed. Everything paused until we understand this better. Meanwhile, the spacecraft was perfectly fine, quietly wondering why humans had lost confidence. Then, the funniest thing happened. The flag cleared itself. Completely. Telemetry returned to normal. No repetition. No follow-up. And instead of relief, the room became more nervous. Well, that's strange. Why did it clear? Could it be hiding something? Congratulations. You have entered the paranoia phase. Now everything looks suspicious. Normal behavior became unexpected calm, stable readings became concerning stability, silence became loss of insight. This is how you know panic is driving. Someone suggested resuming normal operations. The response? Let's wait. Wait for what? A sign? Another flag? A divine message from space? Waiting feels cautious. Waiting feels safe. Waiting also burns time. Timelines slipped. Windows closed, opportunities passed, but nobody cared because everyone was busy role-playing an emergency. Management was notified. Words like elevated posture appeared. Emails multiplied. Meetings spawned. Still no actual problem. Eventually, someone did the most dangerous thing in a panic-driven room. They checked history, and there it was. The same flag, appearing before, on previous missions, under similar conditions. Documented, understood, benign. The flag was informational, not diagnostic, not predictive, just noise. Noise that everyone forgot existed. The room went quiet, not emergency quiet, embarrassment quiet. Now came the awkward unwinding. Well, given this context, we may have overreacted. In hindsight was working overtime. Normal operations resumed, slowly, carefully, like everyone was pretending nothing had happened. The mission paid the price. Lost time, lost momentum, lost confidence. Not because of space, because of fear. Here is the real lesson. Emergencies require clarity. Panic destroys it. Real emergencies get worse if you hesitate. Fake emergencies get worse if you do not calm down. This was a fake emergency. The spacecraft never needed saving. It needed humans to stop imagining danger where none existed. Final truth. Not every anomaly is a crisis. Not every alert deserves drama. And not every loud voice is helping. Sometimes the most professional response is not escalation. It is perspective. Let us insult this behavior properly. Panic is not caution. Panic is fear wearing confidence. It makes people feel important while actively reducing their ability to think. When people panic, they stop asking whether something is dangerous and start asking whether they look responsible. This is how imaginary emergencies become real problems. Time is wasted. Confidence erodes. People hesitate where they should act and freeze where they should proceed. The irony is that panic is often praised. Raised voices sound decisive. Urgency sounds competent. Escalation feels like leadership. None of those things guarantee understanding. In this case, the flag was understood. The understanding was simply forgotten. Institutional memory failed, and fear filled the gap. And fear is very good at convincing smart people to act foolishly. We are not done, because this behavior deserves further ridicule. The moment the room panicked, responsibility vanished. People stopped thinking about what the flag meant and started thinking about how they would be judged if something went wrong. That shift is fatal to good decision-making. Fear does not ask good questions. Fear asks loud questions. Fear wants attention. Fear wants witnesses. Instead of calmly validating data, the room validated emotions. And emotions are terrible navigators in technical systems. This is why training matters. Not training on procedures, but training on restraint. Training on recognizing when nothing is actually happening. The most expensive mistakes in spaceflight are not dramatic failures. They are quiet overreactions that slowly bleed time, confidence, and effectiveness. This emergency did not damage hardware. It damaged trust. Trust in systems, trust in data, trust in judgment. And that damage lingers longer than any warning flag. We are not done, because this behavior deserves further ridicule. The moment the room panicked, responsibility vanished. People stopped thinking about what the flag meant and started thinking about how they would be judged if something went wrong. That shift is fatal to good decision-making. Fear does not ask good questions. Fear asks loud questions. Fear wants attention. Fear wants witnesses. Instead of calmly validating data, the room validated emotions. And emotions are terrible navigators in technical systems. This is why training matters. Not training on procedures, but training on restraint. Training on recognizing when nothing is actually happening. The most expensive mistakes in spaceflight are not dramatic failures. They are quiet overreactions that slowly bleed time, confidence, and effectiveness. This emergency did not damage hardware. It damaged trust. Trust in systems, trust in data, trust in judgment. And that damage lingers longer than any warning flag.